What's up, everyone? How you doing? It's John, and thank you for tuning into my NEStalgiaholic channel. This video, I'm going to take a closer look at classic GamePro. This is from July 1990, retail back in the day for $3.95. I loved GamePro back growing up as a kid. I subscribed to both GamePro as well as Nintendo Power. What I loved about GamePro was not only did it cover Nintendo games, but it covered other platforms during the time, right? So Lynx, Game Boy, Genesis, TurboGrafx-16, Sega, etc., right? So love the classic cover here with the turtles. Here's a back promoting RBI Baseball 2 for Genesis by Tengen, which is known as Atari. It's another second company. Let's open this thing up. You can see here, this is Exial. I don't know how you pronounce that. It's a game by Hudson Software, the NES. How do you pronounce that? Exyl? Exial? Confusing, for sure. Another Hudson Soft ad. Okay, they're live. Enjoy Hudson. Table of contents. Michael Goes Video Games, page 64. It's going to talk about Moonwalker, I'm sure. This is a cool poster here. Kind of Dick Tracy for the NES, which is awesome. I remember this game when it came out for the NES. Definitely a classic. I love these classic ads too. This is by Goal by Jalico, a soccer game for the NES. This is kind of people writing in. You can subscribe. How much was subscription? $9.99, $9.95. You get a Nick Club card, TCBY coupon, Pizza Hut. Huh. That's interesting. You can Nickelodeon anywhere. I guess Nickelodeon Club. Turbo Racing by the NES for the NES by Data East. This probably tells you how much subscription costs. $20 for the year. It's cheap for 12 issues physical. It's awesome. This is where people should wrote in the GamePro, Captain Skyhawk ad, Cable. And I think what I love about these classic magazines is just the fact that the classic ads are awesome. GamePro. This is the Power Glove. We all know how it turned out. It was not very good. Everything else is just child's play. I love how they really market it very well. In fact, the Wizard movie promoted it like it just worked amazingly. And then you end up buying it, and it was terrible. If you haven't seen the movie 8-Bit Christmas on HBO, just came out recently, I recommend you check it out. They do have a reference on the Power Glove on it. It's a classic, great movie. Bases Loaded for the Game Boy. I definitely had that. Hellraiser, talking about that. RoboKid for the Genesis. What's this one? Clash of Demon Head. Encore. Golgo 13. What game is this one? Daedalus. Interesting. The Light Boy. The way you play Light and Game Boy at night. I definitely had one of those. It actually enlarged the screen as well. There's no better way to see the light. Okay, here's a comic. It looks like Techno World Wrestling. GamePro mini comic. I don't remember a ton of comics being in GamePro. Here's the links. I got the links when it first came out, and this is earlier on. I believe it came out in the late 80s, right? So you can see the games here had the flat surface. They ended up having curl later on when they came out, but it was packed in with California games. This is Model 1 links. You get up to 4 of them at a time. Way ahead of its time, graphically, full color, a lot better than the Game Boy as far as obviously that goes, but the battery life was not very good. 5 hours of battery life, if that. Game Boy, you could get 4 times that or more, easy. Super C, fun game. This is the NES port, looks like. A follow-up to Contra, of course. Dash Galaxy for the NES. Can't say I've ever played that game. Have you ever played that? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Code name Viper. These are some people writing in. ProView. People talk about the game itself. Abadox. I don't know why they made games so difficult to pronounce back in the day. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's an adventure game. Adventures of Lolo 2. Shanghai. Revenge of Gator. I remember Revenge of Gator. That was a pinball game for the Game Boy, if I recall. And that was a lot of fun, actually. Remember that quite a bit. Soccer Mania. So obviously during the 1990s, Game Boy, NES was huge. 1989 winners, Best Sports Game, Tecmo Bowl, Ninja Gaiden, Martial Arts, candidates, Bad News Baseball, Ninja Gaiden 2, and World Wrestling. Moonwalker. So this is the first kind of look at Moonwalker for the Genesis. Remember when Michael Jackson passed away? Unfortunately, this game skyrocketed. This version of Moonwalker is not the arcade port. If you ever played the arcade version, it's much different. It's more of a beat 'em up. This is more of a side-scrolling platformer, but this is still a really fun game. I love the music, of course. They did release a version of this recently where it has like updated music, and it's actually got the audio of Michael Jackson, the music. It's incredible. It's awesome. Makes it just feel so much different. Air Diver. What game was this for? It looks like for the Genesis, potentially. Now, this is kind of before Super Nintendo, so there's not much for Super Nintendo here because the Super Nintendo came out a couple years after this. Just as does when Nintendo don't. Love that ad. Classic Moonwalker, different Joe Montana football. Buster Douglas boxing. Pat Riley's basketball. Tommy Lasorda baseball. Very cool. Alex Kidd. Sabercore. Looks like for the Genesis. Bloody Wolf. Also World GP for the Genesis. Here's kind of a quick shot. This is a kind of joystick for the Genesis that you could actually purchase. Kind of a third-party control stick. Preview of Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the Game Boy. There was like 4 or 5 that came out initially. This was like the first one I recall having. And this was by, it was Acclaim, but they had a different company. There was Konami. Not Acclaim, it was Konami. I stand corrected. Batman for the Game Boy. Batman for the NES. I love this ad. I love this game. This game, classic soundtrack. Super cool. By Sunsoft. Sunsoft made some really good games. Wizard Warriors, Fortress of Fear. Great game for, this is the Game Boy port. Here's another game I can't pronounce. Heineke Alien. Heineke Alien. Again, I don't know why they make the games so hard to pronounce back in the day. Bonk's Adventure for the TurboGrafx 16. TurboGrafx ad. Never really was as successful in North America as it was in Japan, but really fun. And the Turbo Express, the handheld version, was way ahead of its time. I love Bonk's Adventure. Bonk's Adventure, if you have a TurboGrafx 16 or Express, definitely check out Bonk's Adventure. Airzonk is another great shooter too, kind of part of that series. Swap Hot Tips. I hope that's not the only reference to TurboGrafx 16 in this one, but it sounds like it might be. Here's another ad by Sunsoft, Fester's Quest. Same ad as, I swear it's the same one as Batman. Is it not? Same kid. They just swap out the game. That's kind of lame, but I guess whatever works. Recycling some stock there. X-Men by LGN. We all know LGN didn't make some great games, but they made a few. I believe they made Maximum Carnage, which was later on released for the Genesis and Super Nintendo, and that was a really fun game. But there was, most of the games, they had good licenses, but not very good games, unfortunately. Genghis Khan for the NES. Got a lot of ads in this for sure, which is fine. Rollerball, like another pinball game. These are some NES games. Technos, River City Ransom, great beat 'em up for the NES. Awesome. Really famous. Bugs Bunny, Crazy Castle. I had this game for the Game Boy. This is Bugs Bunny. Here's TurboGrafx 16. People writing in. Vigilante, talking about it. Pros, how to play it. Here's Tennis for the Genesis. The Game Boy ad. JVC, Boulder Dash for the NES. Hot Hands, these are some LCD, this is by Acclaim, but this is really when Tiger Electronics really owned the market for the LCD handhelds, and I forgot about these ones by Acclaim. They're really cool. 1943, Wizard Warriors, Knight Rider, Ring King, WrestleMania, and they made their own versions of it for sure. I remember playing a Simpsons one of this as well later on. Super cool. Battery life was great, but yeah, playing them now, they haven't really aged very well. Rocket Ranger. Looks like that's for the NES. Champion of the US. This is another Kung Fu Heroes, Ultimate Baseball. What else? Flying Dragon, all that good stuff. Solstice for the NES. Look at this reference to Nintendo World Championship. Solstice participating in Nintendo World Championship. I don't recall it ever being a Nintendo World Championship. Maybe it was a qualifier. Let me know if you guys, maybe it was a regional qualifier. But that's really interesting. This is obviously before that. Let me know if ever was, and if you guys know. Blast your way through a video game dimension with a collector's edition comic book. GamePro the comic book. Wonder if it's too late to order this stuff. Look how old school this stuff looks like. These glasses here, it's so 90s. Look at the sweater, like koozies, hat. Oh man, so classic. I love it. Toys R Us I had. Remember this one, the NES Advantage Toys R Us? I miss Toys R Us, man. It makes me sad thinking about it. Video thumb. Look at this thing you can put on your thumb. I've never seen one of those. It's so random. How much were they asking for that? That's ridiculous. $5 plus $1.50 shipping. Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous. Who ever wore that? Seriously. Hope it's one size fit all. I don't know. Phantasy Star 2. Fan art. People creating fan art in the end. Here's some games and price guide for some various games. Electric Games Expo, also known as E3. Look at that. I think that's what became E3 anyway. And a Pro Challenge board. These are people putting their high scores in. We're getting to the very end here shortly. And only you can save the planet. This is Image Fight. The game service, 12 top games a year for only $100. Next issue, Spot, Captain Skyhawk, Thunderbird, Birds, Genesis Populous, Target Earth, Pat Riley's Baseball, TurboGrafx, Double Dragon, Double Dungeons, I stand corrected, King of Casino, Game Boy Heavyweight, Championship Boxing, Skater Die 2, plus Short, Pro Shots, SWAT, and Pro Challenge. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate you guys leaving a comment below. Thank you for subscribing. We'll see you guys soon. Take care and have a great day.